The league just slapped our star linebacker with a fine and the news is brutal. But that's nothing compared to what Adam Peters is working on for the 2026 draft that could totally reshape our defensive line. And at the same time, with Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown out, this week's roster moves are absolutely crucial for tomorrow's game against the Chargers. If you think you know this team, you're out of your mind. Because what's coming is about to shake all of FedEx Field. Stick around till the end, because this is burgundy and gold at its finest. Adam Peters is thinking big, and let me tell you this. After years of watching Ron Rivera throw away draft picks like confetti at a parade, we finally have a GM who actually knows what's up. CBS Sports just put out something wild for our Commanders in their latest 2026 mock draft. And when you hear this name, you'll see exactly why this franchise is building something historic. Quincy Rhodes Jr., that's the name Mike Renner from CBS Sports is watching for Washington in round 1 next year. And you know what? I think this is a total no-brainer. This kid from Arkansas is 6 feet 6 inches, weighs 275 pounds, and in his first season as a starter, he's just destroying offenses. We're talking 18 pressures in just a few weeks. 18? Do you get what that means? But here's where it gets really interesting. Rhodes is raw. He's a project, but he's got physical tools you just can't teach. And let me ask you, who better than our coaching staff to shape a talent like that? Because let me remind you, Dan Quinn came from Atlanta and Dallas, turning projects into Pro Bowlers. This guy knows exactly how to build defensive lines. The pop Rhodes brings at the snap is just nasty. His hands are violent. His first step leaves offensive tackles on roller skates. Sure, he's got technical flaws. So what? I'm telling you right now, I'll take a high upside project over a safe player with a cap ceiling any day of the week. In this league, upside is everything. And you know why Peters is watching the 2026 class this closely? Because after the moves he made this year for Lattimore and the all-out aggression in free agency, our draft capital is tight. We can't afford to miss. This first-round pick has to be a home run, and Rhodes might just be that guy. Think about it for a minute. Our defensive line's been a pleasant surprise this year, right? Jonathan Allen is still a beast. Darren Payne is playing at another level. But what about 2 years from now? 3? Peters isn't just building for 2025. He's laying the foundation for a dynasty. And Rhodes could be the dude to keep this line nasty for the next 10 years. Mike Renner said something I loved. Rhodes is one of the fastest risers in college football this season. That means other teams are seeing it. It means if we want this kid, we'll probably have to spend our first rounder. And I'm telling you, he's worth every ounce of that pick. Let's keep it real. There's risk. We're talking about a guy in his first season as a starter. He doesn't have 3 years of sec domination on tape. But I think that calculated risk is exactly what we need. While the Cowboys keep signing old heads on overpriced deals and the Eagles keep slapping band-aids on with desperate trades. We're building the right way. Remember when Ron Rivera used a pick on Chase Young and let him walk for basically nothing? Remember Jahan Dotson in round 1? Those days are over. Peters gets it. The draft is where you build championships, not free agency. Rhodes fits that exactly. Young, moldable, freakish potential. That rare mix of size, freak athleticism, and early production Rhodes shows. Almost impossible to find. We're talking about an edge rusher almost 6 feet 7 with the agility of a guy 30 pounds lighter. In this league, where protecting the QB is everything, having a weapon like that changes it all. Changes your scheme, the way offenses attack you, changes your ability to close games in the fourth quarter. And here's what really fires me up. Our coaching staff. Dan Quinn, Bobby Slowick on offense, just elite minds. If Rhodes comes here, he won't be on his own trying to figure out the NFL. He'll have a whole development plan, built to max out his strengths while shoring up his weaknesses. That is what separates winning operations from the mediocre ones. So let me ask you, do you want Peters to play it safe and pick the so-called An FL-ready guy who maybe gives us 3 good years. Or do you want to swing for the upside? A player who could be at his first Pro Bowl in 3 years and terrorizing the NFC East in 5. I'm telling you, upside is the answer. Look at what happened this year. Nobody saw Jaden Daniels balling out this fast. Peters bet on talent, bet on ceiling, and look where we are. That same thinking applies to Rhodes. If the ceiling is all pro, why not take your shot? To be real, draft 2026 is a ways off. Rhodes has to keep it up, show he's not a flash in the pan. But if he keeps dominating the SEC, climbs draft boards, when April 2026 comes, Adam Peters will have a call to make. And I believe he'll get it right, just like he has since he got here. That's the difference between the Rivera era and the Peters era. Long-term vision. We're not patching holes. We're building real solutions. We're not chasing big names in free agency. We're raising stars right here. And Quincy Rhodes Jr. could be the next star we watch grow, wearing burgundy and gold. If that caught you off guard, wait for this, because now comes something that straight up worries me. Frankie Louvu, our linebacker who is all heart and fire, just got slapped with another NFL fine, and this isn't his first. And that pattern is something we have to talk about. The league hit him with a fine of $23,186 for a hip drop tackle on Michael Penix Jr. from the Falcons last Sunday. 23 grand. And here's the thing. This is not new for Louvu. Last year, in the playoffs against Detroit, he got hit for $16,883 for the exact same thing. You see a pattern here? Here's what I'll tell you. Louvu is the engine of our defense. This is the dude who sets the tone, never backs down, plays every down like it's his last. But the hip drop tackle has got to go. The NFL is phasing out that move because of the injuries it causes, and refs are all over guys with a history. Louvu's already on that list. The worst part? Louvu knows how to hit clean. Against Penix Jr., he did everything right, came from behind, wrapped up the quarterback, brought him down. But that hip action, that drop he uses for more power, that's exactly what the league is out to get. And now, the refs know all about him. So let me ask you, is it worth risking 15 yards and constant fines over a move you can avoid? I don't think so. In a tight game, unnecessary roughness could cost us a W against teams like the Eagles or Cowboys. Every yard matters. Even more worrying, Louvu didn't just get fined for the hip drop. Last year against the Eagles, they nailed him for leaping the line to stop the touch push. $11,255 for a play that went viral. A play the fans loved? See how the league's got him on their radar. And it's not just Louvu this week. Eo Kaho, our undrafted rookie fighting for a roster spot, just caught his first NFL fine, $4,685 for unnecessary roughness, spearing with his helmet in the third quarter against Atlanta. For a rookie with no guarantees, that stings in the wallet. The NFL's sending a clear message. Doesn't matter if you're a vet or rookie, star or practice squad rules are the same. Guys like Louvu and Lattimore, who have a rep for playing right up to the edge, are going to get flagged more than others. Period. Here's what bugs me. Louvu is exactly the type of linebacker we want. Aggressive, physical, brings the hammer. But the NFL in 2025 isn't what it was a decade ago. The rules change, the game evolved, and if you don't adjust, the fines won't stop coming. He's got to work with our coaches to clean up his tackling technique. The skill is there, the intensity is there, but if he keeps piling up flags and fines, he'll put the team in the hole. Dan Quinn isn't going to tolerate that forever. Look at Marshon Lattimore. When he came, he cleaned up his physical style to avoid dumb penalties. Still aggressive, still a beast, just smarter. That's the jump Louvu needs. Because the only difference between a great linebacker and one who loses you games is control. If Louvu doesn't adjust, what happens? In a do-or-die moment playoff, big game, he'll get flagged and it could cost us everything. Then we're all going to wonder why nobody fixed it when they had the chance. I don't want that nightmare. The good news? Luvu is coachable. He's a pro, wants to win. If the coaches show him the tape, the new techniques, he'll fix it. He has to. This defense needs him on the field, not riding the bench for piling up penalties. Not to be fair. Hip drop. Tackles were legal and effective for years. Luvu isn't being dirty or trying to hurt anyone. It's muscle memory, what he learned in college. But the rules change, and so does he. Luvu's always going to play with that trademark intensity. That won't ever change, and I don't want it to. But you can play just as hard and physical without using banned techniques. It's possible, and we've seen plenty of other guys make those adjustments. Against the Chargers tomorrow, Luvu's got to be huge to stuff Justin Herbert and that offense. But he's got to play smart. Another unnecessary roughness penalty. Free 15 yards for LA, and that could be the difference. And in the NFL, those margins are massive. Thought we were done? You're wild. This week's roster moves are just as critical, and here's why. With Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown officially out for the Chargers game tomorrow, the teams moved Tay Martin up from the practice squad for the second week in a row. Not a coincidence. Martin got called up last week for Atlanta, and clearly the coaches saw something they liked, because here he is again. With only 4 healthy receivers on the active roster, Martin's going to have to step up. It's not a luxury, it's a must. You know what that means? Jaden Daniels will be throwing to a group that doesn't all have a ton of chemistry with him. Luke McCaffrey has to level up. Olamide Zaccos will see more targets. And Martin needs to be ready if his number's called. Let me ask you, are you feeling good going into LA? Against a solid Chargers defense with our current wide receiver situation? I'll be honest, I'm worried. Terry McLaurin is our WR1. He's Jaden's safety net. Losing him is massive, but here's the deal. Martin's been here all training camp. Played in preseason. Knows the playbook. Knows the stuff Cliff Kingsbury wants to run. That gives him a leg up over other guys you might bring in off the street. Commanders also signed Antonio Hamilton Sr. from the practice squad to the active roster. Hamilton's been called up twice already this year, and with all the injuries in the secondary, we needed that depth for real. He's a vet who gets the system, can play special teams, and won't blow an assignment. But here's what it all tells me. Injuries are starting to add up. Noah Brown's groin, Terry's quad, Sam Cosme's still bouncing back from the ACL, Giovanni Jean-Baptiste on IR with a torn pec. That's life in the NFL, but you have to have depth that can actually step up. I think elevating Martin instead of Ja'Cory Brooks or Jacoby Jones was the right call. Martin's already got reps, real game experience. This is not the time to experiment with someone who barely knows the plays. By the way, the Chargers made moves too. Brought up Clelin Ferrell, who was with Hughes last year and this offseason. He'll be looking to show he should have stayed. Knows our schemes, knows our tendencies. That's dangerous. But here's the thing. These are the moments that shape seasons. When you've got injuries, when key weapons are out, the next man up has to ball out. And I trust Martin to give everything he's got if he's out there. This is his shot to prove he belongs for good. For real, we're going to need all the help we can get against the Chargers. Justin Herbert's playing at an MVP level. Khalil Mack is still a nightmare for O-lines. Joey Bosa can wreck your whole game plan. There's zero room for mental lapses or blown assignments. Just because we've got practice squad guys in, Cliff Kingsbury is going to have to get creative. Move Jaden out of the pocket. Use more tight end routes. Lean on our running backs as pass catchers. With Terry and Noah out, our receiving corps is thin. But here's what keeps me hopeful. This coaching staff's been adaptable. We've lost guys before, hit adversity, and still found ways to win. And I believe we'll find a way again tomorrow. Martin's got to use this chance. Show he can be trusted, can run sharp routes, secure the ball when Jaden looks his way. If he makes just 2 or 3 good grabs, that could open future chances for him. So let's recap. Adam Peters is building something special with an eye on 2026 and Quincy Rhodes. Jr. as a possible next big one with all-pro upside. Frankie Louvu has got to clean up his tackling before those fines cost us a critical W, and Tay Martin and Antonio Hamilton Sr. need to answer the call with Terry and Noah out. That's 3 news stories. 3 crucial situations shaping where this team is right now and where we're going next. Now, let me ask you, should Peters go all in for Rhodes in 2026, even if he's raw? Are you worried about Louvu's habit of drawing flags? Do you trust our depth to beat the Chargers tomorrow without our starting wideouts? Drop your thoughts in the comments on all these stories. If you're a real fan of this team, if you bleed burgundy and gold like I do, you gotta subscribe to this channel. Because we don't just report news here, we break it down, we dissect it. We give you takes nobody else does. This is the channel where Commander's family comes together. Where we aren't afraid to tell the tough truth, where we celebrate wins and learn from losses. And you are part of this family. So smash that LIKE button if you want more deep dive analysis like this. Subscribe if you want to be first in the loop when breaking news hits the team. And turn on notifications because we've got exclusive content dropping daily that you won't find anywhere else. Tomorrow we'll be live reacting to the game against the Chargers. I want to see all of you in the chat, debating, living every snap right with us. Because this isn't just football, this is OUR community. And remember, no matter what happens tomorrow, no matter how many injuries, no matter who we play, at the end of the day, we are Commanders, and we never quit. Hail to the Redskins!